This is Silva here, and apparently I tricked myself because Nintendo did do a direct. Unfortunately, I was not able to watch the direct yesterday, so I'm watching it today instead. I had to stay off of Twitter for everything. I did not want to get spoiled for a single thing, and there goes the headphone for some reason. So yeah, there's that. So, I mean, to be fair, I don't even know who the next character is. I honestly don't know who the next character is going to be. Some people are saying it could be Dante. Some people are saying Sora. Part of me says yes, part of me says no. Part of me says it's not going to be either one of those. It's either going to be obscure character or first party. Dude, watch it be like a Fire Emblem character. I swear to God, the internet's going to be so pissed. So, you know what? Let's just get on into this. I'm curious what it's going to be. Alright, let's go in. What the fuck? It's that fucking Fire Emblem! What the fuck? Bruh!
The time
I was
is
fucking kidding!
to
I was
unleash the
fucking
forbidden
kidding!
spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
Dude! Twitter's gonna be so pissed! I mean, me, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this, personally. Bruh, Smash community
What were
after
you
this.
thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap?
By the way, this is
If
beautifully
you and I are
animated.
one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be.
Side note, I don't know anything about Fire Emblem.
Are you prepared to die?
Yes.
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice.
You join Smash, bro.
You must join Smash.
There.
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the
Where should
world
the
are you
emblems
waiting
are?
for?
Oh, that's a nice detail. For what?
So
Smash
join
Twitter
me,
is pissed.
Smash.
I guarantee
Consume
everyone is
even the
pissed.
darkness itself.
Oh, that is a beautiful stage. Oh, they have the other houses. I don't know anything about Fire Emblem. I'm sorry. I apologize. Are we gonna have the female up though?
So you
yeah,
returned,
I'm pretty sure.
and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there?
Yes.
And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Turn to a female, of course. Best option. That's how you win Smash
So
Brothers
that is
over.
how you plan to win the day?
Kidding, by the way.
So be it.
I'm
I'll
fucking kidding.
reward your cleverness this time.
Oh, they have other weapons. Okay, so they are unique fire after all.
How
See, we
is
don't have to beat
this?
as much. Oh, cool. There's Smash logos. By the way, who is this I don't know who this character is. Bayleth or something?
Oh,
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics. With Arid Fire, strike
Dude,
with superior
Twitter
reach.
is pissed off right now.
Using
I don't
Mir's
mind.
overwhelming power.
Oh god, I can't even imagine Twitter yesterday then when this came out.
Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught. Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction.
I mean, to be honest, I kind of felt like there was gonna be a Fire Emblem House's character.
Your will and mine be now as one.
I kind of called it, to be honest.
To you, both sides of time are revealed. Through Smash, show the world!
You're gonna fight on 3 houses. I knew it. I caught it. I caught it. See, even Sakura getting ready for Fire Emblem. I was like, nope, nope, fuck all y'all. Y'all got y'all's favorites. I'm getting mine.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle.
Oh, Byleth, my
Fire
bad.
Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase individually. In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry.
Thank you. Please.
First off, what is Fire Emblem?
A game that gets oversaturated in Smash.
It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful.
Fire Emblem Police? Are they the
The
Nintendo
series' first
ninjas?
entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990.
I mean, I've never played Fire Emblem, so I don't know.
Plus, something made it stand out from
As
other
of
Nintendo
currently, I
titles.
haven't played Fire Emblem.
Characters could permanently die.
And that was why I couldn't play Fire Emblem.
That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again.
Yeah, really, that whole reason was why I couldn't play Fire Emblem. I
Recent
could barely
entries in
keep
the
a
series
Pokemon
maintain
alive.
this concept of permadeath.
So I
to
can't
some
even
degree,
imagine how it'd be in
classic mode
Fire
and what have
Emblem.
you. But a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary.
Oof.
Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge.
No,
I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝、紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、劣化の剣、聖魔の功績、総縁の奇跡、暁の女神、新南黒竜新紋章、覚醒イフヒーローズ、エコーズ、風化設立。
There you go, 17.
There are 3. See, really, once he did that whole 3 thing, I knew it was
So
gonna be
you
Fire
saw how I
Emblem.
was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
Binary?
This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome.
We're
isn't it?
learning with Sakura, yay!
You can actually count up to 31 on one hand.
You guys saw that, he put on the middle finger.
And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
畳の数を数えるのに
It'd be
数を
If
mean
you've given up counting
instantly.
the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three
Or
Houses?
3 houses.
In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release.
So that's probably why you got killed.
I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example. Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
Okay, yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for
Oh,
it.
there's multiple endings in the game, oh no!
And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference. The game has multiple routes, and the
Oh, the
outcome of
music is
each
nice.
is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand.
Yeah, understandable. We don't want to spoil the game.
Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you
Oh,
to
so
do
they're pretty much
things
North
like
Simon
this.
with a sword. It's pretty much the Belmonts with a
It
sword
was
then.
pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with
I
my attack.
love that
And
background.
in addition,
I gotta say, this is a gorgeous
you can
stage.
do awful things like this.
It is-
That said,
Why'd you
you'll
do that
launch
to her?
opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now for the sideways inputs. This is air claw, the same name as the weapon
Air,
from
air,
Celtic mythology.
I'm sorry. I can't.
First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right?
Yes, we know that. Melee.
If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
So essentially, more grab melee. Oh crap.
Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger.
Okay.
And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them. By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weaker,
The shaft.
so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage,
take that
and
into
it won't
context,
launch
please.
opponents far. That's why,
I
as
just
a
like that
rule,
guard in the
you want
background.
to hit with the blade
Just
part
sitting there,
aimed upward,
just watching these people fight, right out in this
or downward
courtyard.
in this case. Turning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great
Who wants to
horizontal
bet
reach,
that the
but
first
they
week
lack
this character
verticality.
comes out, it's gonna be online
So this
filled with this
complements it
character
well.
being broken?
Although you'll be vulnerable when you land.
Literally happens every single time
Now,
with these
for the
characters.
downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir.
A mirror, okay.
It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe
Seriously
back
though,
and
this
forth.
stage
As you can see,
a
it has
lot
a
of
great
detail
deal
and
of
I'm
launch
really
power.
loving it. It looks beautiful.
And for the down
gorgeous.
special, Byleth channels
I'm probably
all
more
their
excited
energy
about the
into
stage of the
devastating
character.
strike. It's a bold move.
But no,
similar to
I'm
the
excited for
Falcon,
Byleth
but
to be
here's what makes
completely
it different.
honest. I think it's gonna be
When readying the
better.
move, there's a super armor effect,
Super armor effect.
which allows you to withstand an attack. Just so
Yep,
you know,
this
if
character's
you
broken.
execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this. It's a bit slower than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed.
Alright.
Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area. It won't let you
I
jump,
feel like I'm
but you
getting
can use it
annoying
as a
after a while, to
surprise
be
attack.
completely honest. Just pass through the platforms.
Also, you can turn around during the move.
Okay, yeah.
The
that's
swing
good.
takes a while. So men using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits
Yeah,
with that
okay,
much
so they're
power
really
with
into
a single
counters to this
attack.
character.
Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter. Next, we have the neutral
Ooh,
moves.
what?
The bow you use is called Failnaught, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few
Right now,
neutral
they're
moves.
okay, so I'm fucked
You've
up.
got the neutral air attack.
I'm kidding.
This attack is similar to a move of
Okay,
Pit's and other
okay.
fighters
I can't
like
even
him.
imagine
It
what
lets you
that
spin
would
the
be
weapon around.
like. Like, it'd be
It's also
exciting,
easy
but
to create
at the
certain
same time,
combos with it.
everybody's like, oh no, not another blue-haired swordsman.
And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow.
That would actually be a
First,
really cool
the
character.
biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
Ooh. That countered it.
Once you've entered the stand, you won't be able to do anything. Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray,
Listen, you broke
as it
the
is, after
tables,
all,
why?
a long-range move, letting you
broke the
deal a
tables.
sudden blow to opponents. So
You know how
need to
hard
think
it is to
carefully
find a
when using
table
this
at a
projectile
lunchroom,
weapon.
man?
Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version.
That sounds like a long-ass name. That's pretty
As you
cool.
can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together.
Sophis. Okay. That has a beautiful background. Let's go to the station.
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female.
Okay.
However, the third,
Oh, they have the,
fourth, and fifth colors
the
are,
ones with
as
the-
you can see,
the three
reminiscent
houses.
of the house leaders.
I don't know any of their names.
Those of you who've played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story.
Okay, it's in this
Didn't
way.
we see this variation in the final smash?
Okay. That's cool though. Yay, the stage!
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg Mach Monastery.
Here, in the monastery again.
This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game.
Oh.
From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral, all in one stage. It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four.
Okay.
Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here
Blue
are
Lion
students
House
of the
there.
Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one.
Sakurai, you said there's not gonna be
There
a
are vendors on either
spoilers!
side.
You just
In the
spoiled.
original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you
You
see.
destroyed them.
If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right.
Meanwhile, this guard is just watching this destruction go on.
I wonder where people will buy their supplies now.
That's true.
And in the
Oh,
background,
guardkeeper.
you can
There
see
you
the
go.
gatekeeper.
Yay.
You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this
Oh.
mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop,
How's the mountains in the background?
you'll come crashing back down. We've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building.
The Black
And the
Eagle.
guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adrestian Empire, and as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals.
Oh.
You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down.
Oh.
However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go. I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table,
You can break tables.
like so. Just like the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range.
Alright.
Next up, the bridge. The
This
camera
is
rotates
seriously
90
beautiful
degrees,
mountains.
creating this long area.
This area
It's
looks
very
beautiful.
wide indeed.
The bridge. And oh, what is this?
It's similar to the bridge of Elden stage. The guests are from the Golden Deer,
Golden Deer?
Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence. They belong to the Leicester Alliance. Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap.
Yeah,
The
I
naming process
imagine.
must be tough.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect
Seriously, though,
plenty
that
of blows to
background
be
is just
exchanged at the edges of the
gorgeous
screen.
right there.
You could also say it's a place where the Fail Knot really shines, and in that.
Should we spoil the side
This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where
so
some
I
intense
love
battles
the
will
detail
be
of this
waged.
stage. This is gorgeous.
It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes.
Alright. Alright then.
Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5.
What are you doing? No!
Joker!
You killed him! No. Sakurai, no.
And Hero!
Sakurai, no! Not again! We went through the wall lights!
Gee, we really
We don't
need
need this again!
Banjo!
It's killing everyone still!
By now, I think you know what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, I understand, but
But
still.
basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5
You
opponents
just killed
with
him.
just the professor here. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on.
You just murdered everyone!
It's not
Again!
going to land that easily. Uh-oh, this is bad.
What's that again?
Bennigan's. I better keep my distance.
You just killed everyone. I'm going to ignore that.
I'll use this chance to attack. Got him.
Bombs.
That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here.
Alright.
Lots of explosives. Ouch.
Okay.
He perfect shielded that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh?
There we go.
There. The soccer ball connected.
Next is cord. Oh, there's no Lucina. I don't think.
Good. There's Mom.
Come on. Oh, Mother Brain.
You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir.
Oh yeah, no more.
Well, I guess no one
sadly.
uses
Only
projectiles.
no
At this
Lucina.
point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not.
Lucina. Lucina is the best girl, okay?
I feel like the enemy might get this smash ball. See? They got it.
Yeah.
But I mustn't give up. I can't waste this chance.
There we go.
There's another smash ball. Yes, got it. Now,
Alright.
what are you charging up for?
A
There's
hammer.
still more. Whack. Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state.
Oh, there you go.
I hit him. I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won.
And
Good
then you
game.
killed everyone else.
It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself.
Yeah.
But you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
What will happen?
Now for the Mii Fighter costumes.
Alright,
Please take a
let's
look.
go. Alright, Mii Fighters, let's go. What really everyone's excited for. Assassin's Creed! Oh, not Assassin's Creed. That looks like an Assassin's Creed character. I think it is. Please don't yell at me in the comments. I don't know, okay? Rabbits. I mean, part of me not surprised, but why the rabbits? I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, Mega Man X. Okay, the X. I thought we had this one already. Guess not. Battle Network, okay. This one I think I remember playing as Tash 4. Okay. Cuphead! What? We're getting Cuphead! No way! And a music track in it. That is freaking awesome! Holy crap! Yeah, I bet you more people are more excited for the Cuphead, if anything. Dude, we got fucking Cuphead! Holy crap. Let's see, maybe we'll January 28th. There we go. Online's gonna be filled with Cupheads now. And not even Bible, it's just Cupheads.
This time, we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fight. You can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it.
That was weird, I don't see any Peter Griffins or nothing in there.
And now, onto the amiibo.
The amiibo?
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good,
Yeah,
doesn't
it sure
it?
does.
Dark
I didn't know it was
Samus and
different.
Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th.
Okay. My voice is fucking up. I care to join the battle, okay.
And now, with the addition of Violet, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete.
I think this is a
lineup
really
Joker,
good fighter pass. I don't
Hero,
care what anyone
Banjo and
bitches
Kazooie,
about.
Terry
This is a
Bogard,
good one,
and
okay? Really, because Banjo Kazooie kind of just sold everything
From more
for
than
me, but
70
okay.
fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics
Yes,
right there.
there were a lot.
When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play.
Yeah, that's probably the thing I like about Smash. It's the fact that each fighter is different and unique.
As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
Sakurai, what are you doing? Sakurai, you need a break! Okay. Oh, so we're getting 6! Holy shit!
Looks like there will be one more fighter than last time.
You need a break.
For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash
December
Bros. Ultimate
31st,
Fighters Pass Volume 2.
2021.
It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out.
Okay.
And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm
Unknown?
personally very sorry that we have
But I
to
told
release
that to
Fighters
Lakers.
Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna push it.
Furthermore,
if I
the
have
new
to.
additions have already been decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very
He
hard to
called out
consider them.
Twitter specifically. Y'all know. Y'all need to stop harassing this man.
But I still hope you'll look forward to it. We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2.
bonus?
Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have.
Oh, the champion armor.
It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii
Or
Sword
the
Fighter,
ancient soldier
the
armor, my
ancient
bad, not
soldier
the champion
gear from
armor.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I did not play Breath
This
of the
will
Wild,
not
okay?
be for sale individually,
Haven't
so it
seen
can
much
only
of
be
Breath of the
acquired
Wild.
as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
That's pretty cool. Nice.
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest-selling fighting game in the world.
Damn, really?
Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world.
Yeah.
Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total
Yeah,
sales.
that's good.
However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds.
That's true.
Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25
Yeah,
ports to other
that's true,
systems,
so.
so I don't know.